Hello, it's Dave at Icon Jiu-Jitsu in Belfast. So I've decided to do some work outside today. There's a bit of daylight, it wasn't raining, so I bring my stuff out and then I can go for a little walk when I want to. But listen, there's two types of people I want to tell you about. Two types of people, and I can spot them a mile off, and it's the quiet ones, all right? So you'll see I'm doing a challenge at the minute. I turned 40 during lockdown. I didn't have the best start to being 40 because it was in lockdown. So now I'm doing 40 days of making a commitment to myself. 40 days to get myself mentally, physically and everything prepped for next year. Day 5 today. So before I tell you about these two types of people, I'm sort of inspired by one of the groups. So it's about doing what you say you're going to do, right? I had a tough training session last night and I didn't sleep so well, but I'd scheduled in today a run up at 6, run before 7 o'clock, and a weight session this afternoon. Now, I woke up at 6, really didn't feel like getting out of bed, as we all probably don't at that time. Couldn't be bothered. It wasn't about the fitness today, okay? Maybe I didn't put in my best performance. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But it was about proving to myself that I got my ass out of bed, I had a little bit of work to do early on, and then I get out for the run. And I did it. So I feel great today because I did it. I don't care about the times. I posted the time on the stories earlier, but I don't care about that. I care that I'd said I was going to do it, and I did it. Okay, and I'll do my weight session this afternoon. And this 40 days of self-challenge is really important. So here's the two types of people. And it's the quiet ones. We have people come in who apply for our, especially the beginners program, okay, so they've never done it before. We have one group of people come in and he'll sit down, or she sit down, slump down in the chair, tell you about all the things they've done in the past. Oh, I did this in the past, I did that, yeah, you know. And I start to watch it and I think, why are you trying to act cool and big? Be humble. And also, you're telling me about all these things you tried. You've never stuck at anything. So when you say, oh, give this a go, give it, what you mean is you're building yourself an excuse. So you're not going to do what you say you're going to do. When it gets tough, you're going to quit. Okay, well, I ain't got space, and there's no space for that in the team, all right? Well, then we get the other sort of people, and it's the quiet ones. So listen to this. We have either the kid who you might describe as a little bit geeky, okay, maybe 16 to 20 years old or early 20s, maybe a bit geeky, comes in terrified when he walks through the door, comes in, but he says he's going to turn up and he turns up, comes in, shakes your hand, maybe I'll sit him down and have a little bit of a chat with him, find out about them, and they're absolutely terrified. And at no point do they leave themselves any get out. They just say, okay, I want to do it. Terrified, and they do it. And that first session, they turn up just as scared, and they turn up and they do it. And they're never scared after the first session, okay? The whole atmosphere at the gym, we're very, very good at beginners program, looking after people and making you feel welcome. But they are scared, but they do it. It's these quiet kids that say they're going to do it. Or you get the middle-aged man who maybe like 35 to 45, maybe a bit older. Again, he's got no confidence. He's let himself go. Life might have beat him down a little bit. He turns up just as scared, okay? He probably puts a different face on it because you learn to as you get a little bit older. But he turns up, and again, at no point does he leave himself, and he goes, I've got to make a change. I've got to do this. When are the classes? And you tell them the timetable, and they say, okay, look, I'm going to make that, and they do, and they just show up. Okay, they show up. The geeky kid and the middle-aged man, whatever, the humble, scared person shows up when they've had a bad day at work. They still show up. When they've had a row at home, they still show up. Now, get this. A white belt who's been training for 6 to 9 months or a year under the belt is a dangerous individual, okay? And they only get that skills and that fitness that comes from jiu-jitsu by just regularly turn up. Anyone who watches this, maybe some of my friends on here who own jiu-jitsu schools or MMA or whatever, you'll testify to this as well. The people, doesn't matter about the physical condition, the geeky kid, the middle-aged man, the people that just show up regularly, they say, I'm starting, I'm going to do it, and they do. And consistently it builds 6 months. They say they're going to get to 2 classes a week, 3 classes a week, whatever, and they just do it week and week and week, and they build, and the weight starts to fall off them, the confidence builds up, you see them looking forward to coming in the gym, all that fear's gone, and the skills they build up from that. You know, a white belt, if I spar with a white belt with, you know, like a year's experience, like, you can't sleep on them, you know, you've got to have a bit of awareness about you, because they've learned some skills now at that stage. Not the guy that comes in all cocky, oh, give this a go and I'll just crack on, and you'll do a few weeks and you'll quit. You learn nothing. In jiu-jitsu, in your first week, you don't learn anything. You just get used to being in that position, and you start to prove to yourself, yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm going to do it regularly, and I come back, okay? The skills are added later on. The skills come from consistency, and challenging yourself. But once you prove to yourself, well, I said I was going to do it, I'm going to do it, I won't break that promise to myself, that's where all the skills and the fitness and the fun and the friendships and all that comes from it, not the person that comes in cocky saying, you know, I'll give this a go. So the reason I'm doing my challenge is I want to prove to myself I owe the week. I break it down. I'll write down what I'm going to do for that week. I owe the week that. Then I break it down. I'll look at my diary. Okay, how am I going to fit this in? Then I owe each day that. Okay, it doesn't matter how tired I am, unless I'm ill or something, I'm getting that done. Yeah, that's the. So I'm inspired by my 40 days of self-challenge. I'm inspired by the geeky, terrified kid or the middle-aged man with no confidence, but these guys that come in or girls that come in say they're going to do it, and they just do it consistently week on week, and it's impressive to watch, and that's why I'm challenging myself as well. So there you go, it's the quiet ones, they're the people that do really, really well, and those skills build over time, and consistency beats, I'll give this a go and see what it's all about. No, that doesn't work. You can't eat a salad on one day and expect to lose a load of weight. It's consistency. Right guys, hope that answered a few questions, because we've got a huge amount of interest in this, so I deal with a lot of questions, so try and make these videos to just like a blanket answer hopefully, but please do feel free to message if you've got specific stuff. Alright guys, catch you later.